Guess what time it is? Friday Jams! Well, hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to the Rock Your Brand Podcast. I'm your host, Scott Voelker, a serial entrepreneur on a mission to help you. This show is designed to teach you, to inspire you, to motivate you to take massive action and build a future-proof business. So, whether you're just starting out or taking your existing business to the next level, this is your home. Now, if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's rock your brand. What's up, everyone? Welcome to this Friday Jam session. Super excited you're here. And if you haven't heard me say it before, I'm going to say it right now. This is probably one of the highlights of my week because I get to hang out with some cool people every single Friday and answer some really awesome questions. Now, you might be asking, Scott, how do I get my question answered? Well, all you need to do is become part of our Take Action crew. How do you do that? Very easy. Head on over to takeactioncrew.com. It's totally free, and we do it every single Friday, and it is a blast. So what you're about to listen to is one that we did last week. So this way here, even if you can't attend, you can always show up here to the Rock Your Brand podcast and listen to our live jam session. All right, guys, so sit back, relax, and let's jam. All right, guys, welcome back to another Friday jam session. I am fired up today. I'm really fired up today because I'm hanging out with some really cool people during our coffee talk here. That's what we do on Fridays over at the Take Action Crew over there on Facebook, or, well, it's also on YouTube. But we are going to be talking about something today that I've gotten asked recently. And that is because, well, I've been talking about email list building. I've been talking about building digital products or any of that stuff, right? And so the question came up, Scott, how do I choose my digital product? And so I decided to make that our theme of today. And we will obviously go in other directions. But that's what we're going to start with today on this jam session. So if you're listening to this on the podcast and you're not watching this right now, well, you should probably head on over and hang out with us on Fridays or Monday, Wednesday. We do it 3 times a week, but the Friday one is really about answering your questions. So if you're interested in joining us, head on over to takeactioncrew.com. Again, that's takeactioncrew.com. What that will do, it'll take you to our private Rock Your Brand Facebook group. And from there, you can request to join. Once you join, you're in. And then from there, you can attend one of these coffee talks. Now, we do post it on the Facebook fan page. We do also post it on YouTube. So you can go there on those different channels if you want. But if you want to be inside the group where we have other conversations about building a brand, right around this, this whole, how to build a brand or, how to scale my brand, any of that stuff, it's all being talked about inside of that group. Great group. And yeah, head on over there, takeactioncrew.com. All right. Let's kick this baby off. So let's just dig in. So how do you decide what your digital product should be? All right. So I'm assuming now at this point, okay, if you're asking that question, now we can start with that and then work backwards, right? So there's a couple different scenarios. So let's say, for example, right now, because there's all different points where people are, right? Like someone's like, Scott, I'm just starting from scratch. I got nothing. I just want to start a brand. Okay. So we got to speak to that person. We've got someone else that says, Scott, I've got a blog. I've got some traffic, and I want to do a digital product. Right. And then you have someone that says, Scott, I don't know if I want to do a digital product yet, but I want to build my email list with a lead magnet. Right. And that lead magnet could lead to a digital product. So there's different places where people are. Right. But what we need to understand is the digital product that we are going to create for our market, we want to know that they want it and that they need it, right? So the best thing that you can probably do is start to do a little bit of digging in your market. And a great place to start is going over to our friendly Amazon channel and head on over there and start looking at Kindle books. Like literally, like just go and see if there are Kindle books in your market. And then what can happen there is that can show you what has already been developed, what's already been created that you can look at and go, oh, I didn't know that people, they wanted like I don't know, hacks on how to catch more bass, or how to, horseback ride, or, how to play guitar, or, how to set up your aquarium. Like I didn't know any of that stuff even existed in my market, right? So the first thing that you want to do is you want to explore, right? You want to explore your market or your niche. The other thing you can do is just start visiting your competitor's site and seeing if they're offering anything that's digital, right? So these are ways that you can get ideas of what is already out there, okay? But what I like to do is I like to have a relationship with, my audience, you guys, right? Or there's another brand that we're building in the academy, which is kind of like a case study. Well, it is a case study. And I'm not the face of that brand, okay? And so in that brand, what we're doing is we're asking questions. How are we asking questions? Through an email list, right? There's something I talked about here on a coffee talk in the past. I talked about it on the podcast called the naked email, right? And what that basically is it's a question based email. It's just open-ended, and it's just like, hey, what do you need help with, right? And that right there will lead to ideas for content, and also for what people want and what they need. And if they want and need it, there's a chance that they'll buy it, right? So that right there is probably my number one way of really knowing, okay, of what you should be creating in your market. Also, when you start doing research for content on your website, like hopefully you're developing content on your website. When you're doing that, you're also exploring, the searches that are being done out there. And if there's people searching for, how to get better gut health, right? Like, then you're like, okay, that's an issue. People need help with that. They're searching for it. So if I gave them a solution in a digital product, a digital guide, a course, whatever, there's a good chance that they will buy it, right? So that's what we're always looking for. So what you need to understand is, like, you don't want to go out there and just guess at what people want. Now, what you can do, it's going to require a little bit of work, and then it may work, it may not. You can just test an offer, right? So if you want to test something, and you can do it really quick with Facebook, you can just even if you don't have any web traffic, if you just want to test an offer, just slap together something that's an MVP, minimal viable product, drive some paid traffic to it, see what happens. That'll tell you pretty quick, okay? It's going to cost you some money. You got to build a little thing, or you can start to ask your email list, or ask your Facebook friends, or, ask your Facebook group, or wherever you can get anyone to engage. You can ask them an A or a B, right? So perfect example. I talked about this before. I think I talked about it on the last coffee talk. This is kind of like a live case study of you guys watching me develop a digital product. Now, I didn't say, well, I think that people would want email list building, right? What I did is I said, I know just from being in this industry that I know people struggle with building a list. I just know it. I was there, right? And I think it's also because they get confused, and it's complicated if you try to do too much, right? And so I knew that, but I also know that people want a digital product, but again, it's kind of hard. It's overwhelming, not sure what to do first, all of that stuff, right? And I can go down all of these different channels or these different topics. But what I decided to do was ask you. I was like, here's two things I'm thinking about doing. Which one do you think I should do first? And if I didn't get any response on that at all, I'd be like, oop, I guess no one wants it, right? So you got to put it out there. If you have any type of audience, I don't care if it's 25 people, just ask A or B. Should I do this or this? Or do you like this t-shirt or this t-shirt, right? Or do you like this product style or this product style? Even when you're developing a product. So having that email list is huge when it comes to stuff like this. Huge, right? Because you're going to be able to understand what their issues are, or what they're struggling with, or what their desires are, right? So we asked an open-ended question, which we're going to be doing this, by the way. We're going to be taking these responses, looking at them, And we're going to be developing a digital product for this case study brand inside of our academy. We're going to be doing the exact same thing, but I'm actually doing it right now as you guys are, listening or watching right now as we speak. I'm in the middle of it right now, where I put it out there. I asked, what is the topic that you guys like best out of this, that you want help with? And then you voted by raising your hand, and you said email list building. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to do a workshop. I'm going to call it a fast track workshop because it's going to be dialed in on just that one thing: how to get from 0 to 500 subscribers in 30 days or less. And I put it out there and I said, okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to charge up front before I build that thing, right? $27. That's what I started it at. So depending on when you're listening to this, it might be more expensive, probably 37 or 47 bucks. You'll have to go to, let's see here, brandcreators.com/list to find out. All right. And so basically now what I'm going to do after I'm letting people know I'm doing it, I'm getting people to pay with their, with their credit card. So this way here, I know that they're going to show up. I know that they're really interested. They're not just friends saying like, yeah, I think that would be cool. It's like, no, they actually are putting skin in the game. And then we're going to show up and we're going to record it and we're going to do a workshop and we're going to blow people away with content that's going to help them and get them results. And from there, we're going to turn that into an evergreen digital product, right? So the same exact thing goes, but we do not guess. And that's why for you to find out, you either got to go do research in your market of people that are already selling digital products. That's how you can find a topic. The other thing you can do is if you built your email list, even if it's a small email list, message those people and ask them what they're struggling with or what they need help with, right? We got like over 90 responses in that other brand that I was talking about. Over 90 responses. Okay. Pretty awesome. And we've got like a list of content ideas. We've got a list of product ideas. Like all of that stuff came from the email list. That's why I talk about email, guys. That's why, right? So powerful. And so those are like the two main ways of doing it. Now, the other way is just if you are the person in your market, what did you struggle with that you're like, if I had that solution, I probably would buy something. If it would have shortcutted my time, I would have bought that, right? Or I would buy this thing, or there's not this thing out here. If that was there, I know that it would help people and I know people would want it. Then you pretty much already got the answer, right? Then you don't necessarily, now I wouldn't go and make this thing like polished. I would do a minimal viable product, okay? Which is basically, make it good, but it doesn't have to be great. All right. And what I mean by that is it doesn't have to be pretty, right? If you have something that is, and I call it MVP, meaning like if I'm going to do, like right now, I'm going to record this live workshop, right? And, we are going to basically do it live and record it live. It's going to be a little bit raw, right? Sure, it's going to look pretty afterwards with, we're going to make sure that we have good transitions. We make sure that we got good cuts. We got, it's organized, all of that stuff. But in the beginning, it's just raw. It's just like me coming on. I created a slide deck. We're going to go through the slide deck. I'm going to teach, right? But it's not like you went in a studio and scripted everything out. You spent weeks or months editing. No, we're not doing any of that. It's like, we're going to show up for 2 to 3 hours. We're going to teach our butts off and there's the product, right? That's a minimal viable product. That's how we didn't spend weeks developing this thing and weeks, recording it and all that stuff. We don't want to put all that time and effort into something like that because if people don't want it, we don't want to spend the kind of time on that, right? Why would you want to? The other thing is when you do these smaller offers like this, it can kind of lead to your bigger offers, right? That's for a whole nother conversation. So one, investigate your marketplace. See what other people are buying, right? Or that they are offering that is a digital product. That's how you can get great ideas, okay? Second way, if you have an email list, ask them. Like literally send out the naked email. And if you did not listen to that episode or watch that episode, go back and find it. Just search naked email. Love that subject line, naked email. And then 3 is, what was the third one? We did 2. We did ask your audience. Does anybody know what the third one was? Yourself. Like if you're in the market and you are your avatar, you're the one that's going to be able to tell you what you need, right? Because what did you need? Or what did you buy? already that was a digital product, right? So that's the 3 different ones that I would explore to come up with your digital product. Okay. So that's what I would do. But also understand this. If you don't do it that way, okay, if you don't do it that way and you put time and effort into a digital product and hope that people want it, you might be disappointed. Okay. Because if people aren't buying it, then there's an issue there, right? It's like they're not buying it. It's either they think it's too expensive, it's not worth it, right? Or they just don't need it, right? So when we start with the digital product, we want to have a really good idea that this is something that people want. And the way that I look at it too is it's either got to be one of 2 things. One, it's got to solve a problem, okay? Or it's got to be something that they want to approve in their life, right? So the 2 different scenarios would be like, okay, the first side would be solving a problem. I'm going to help people build an email list so they can send that naked email, right? So that's a problem, right? We're going to fix that problem. Okay. The second one is on a desired level, or you want to improve. I want to get better at guitar, right? So I want to learn 5 new rock songs, right? And maybe they're like special songs or, songs that I like or whatever. In the next 7 days, you're going to learn these 5 songs. Boom. I want it, right? It's a desire. It's not a problem. It's a desire, right? But if it's just something that you're like, oh, it's a couple bookmarks for my book. It's like, don't really need it. It's kind of cool, but it doesn't make me go, oh, I got to buy that thing. Right. So you see, we got to come from 2 different places, right? It's either problem solving or desire driven, right? So just keep that in mind. All right, let's see if we have any questions here on this topic, and we'll open it up for the jam session because that's what we do here. We jam on Fridays. But let's go ahead and take a look here. And again, by the way, if you are listening to this on the podcast, if you want to become part of our live audience here, where you can ask questions, just head on over to takeactioncrew.com and you can do that. All right, cool. Let's see here. Oh, what's up, Torsten from Germany? Okay, here we go. Okay, Kate, let's read through this. I would like to offer a 4-hour live class online. I have no email lists. I'd like to do a 1-page sales landing page. No idea how to do that. Is that through ConvertKit? How would I drive traffic if I don't have an email list yet? Let's see, Facebook ads that was a question, Facebook ads, and would love to know how to do 1-page sales landing page. Okay. There's a lot to unpack there, Kate, but I literally just had a conversation with my wife yesterday on a friend of ours who I met. Actually, it's her cousin. And I literally went through exactly what I would do, almost exactly what you just said. So you want to teach a live class online. So does this lady. Okay. And the crazy thing is this lady's also teaching, not now because of COVID, but she's taught in-person live classes. So let's just call it ceramics, right? Or wood burning. Let's say wood burning, right? And so, my wife was like, yeah, she wants to possibly do a podcast. And she possibly wants to maybe do some YouTube. It's great. Maybe do some Facebook, maybe a live or maybe some video and all of this stuff. And so what I said, and this will help you because this here is exactly kind of like where you're going with this, right? I would get people. And the crazy thing is like, you probably have enough people, even in just your personal profile. Like, people don't really post on their personal profile much. I really haven't. I think I'm going to start doing it more. But I would just let people know, hey, I'm thinking about doing this live workshop and I'm going to be teaching this thing. I'm thinking about doing it on, wood burning X, wood burning, Y, right? Which one do you think I should do first? That would be the first step, and then get some feedback. Then from there, I would set a date to teach it, right? And then here's how you would set this all up. Okay. I'm going to make this super, super easy. Now we can do all that other stuff later, but I want to get going here. Like I want to move, right? You guys know I like taking action. I do not like to sit still, right? So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and just start doing some random Facebook lives, showing a couple of things that I'm doing. And oh, by the way, guys, I'm going to be doing a live workshop. Boom, right? Do a few of those, okay, on Facebook. And the reason why I'm doing it on Facebook, I would do it on a Facebook fan page, but I would post it on my profile too. And the reason why I'm putting it on the fan page is because I can run boosted posts, right? I can take those and turn them into ads, okay? So I can start to get more reach that way, right? That's that. That's like I'm drumming up the idea or the attention, the awareness, right? Now, the next thing would be like, hey, if you guys are interested, drop a comment and let me know, and I'll send you a link. It's going to be $27, whatever. It's going to be $47, whatever you want to charge. And then all you do is you create a PayPal account if you don't already have one, and you create a PayPal link. It's like in 2 minutes, you can create a PayPal link. You take that and then you drop it into a comment when someone says, yes, I would like to join. That's your process. Done. I'm not even kidding, guys. Like, it's literally, that is what I would do. I wouldn't have a checkout page. I wouldn't have a sales page. I wouldn't have any of that stuff yet. Then what I would do is I would start to build that stuff out after the fact. Okay. So then what I would do to even make it, again, simple, is I would use a tool, or I would just use ConvertKit. ConvertKit offers, and not everyone has access to it yet, but they're going to, everyone will pretty soon. They have their commerce portion. You can just create a little sales page. Not even that. It's just a sales widget, really. And it just says what it's going to be. And it says, click here. And then basically it connects and sends you money. Like, that's it. Like, that would be your sales page, right? That would build your email list at the same time of buyers. Okay. Because it's going to be automatically connected into ConvertKit, right? But then what I would do, okay. So again, I'm walking kind of backwards on how this, the first way I told you that's it. I would announce the workshop. I would talk about it for 2 weeks on your Facebook profile, on your Facebook fan page, anywhere you can, right? And say, hey, if you guys are interested in joining me on this upcoming workshop, drop a comment down below and I'll send you the link. Like, that's it. Okay. And then from there, you're going to just send links privately to people. And that's it. And you're going to fill that workshop with, however many people you think that you want to get on there to make it worthwhile. If it's 10, 15, 20, doesn't matter at this point. Right. And that's it. Okay. That's that process. But then after that, we can say, okay, now let's go ahead and get these people to go to our ConvertKit sales page or our Gumroad sales page. Something really simple. You can use tools like Kajabi, which that's what we use. You can use ClickFunnels. You can use all those stuff. I don't think you need those right now. Okay. So that's what I would do there. And then as far as building the email list, all I would do there is I would do like tips, right? Like, so I would be like doing these little, like, let's say that you're doing a project or whatever it is in your 4-hour workshop. What is something you can teach in 10 minutes that's from that workshop, right? How can you splinter off a piece of that workshop to bring awareness to what that topic is? And then what you can say is either, hey, join my workshop, or you can say, hey, I've got this checklist that I'd love to send you. It'll help in this process. If you're at all interested, just, go to xyz.com/checklist, right? And that would be your URL, and it would be just through ConvertKit. And then you would build a lead, or it's a lead magnet through ConvertKit that would start building your subscriber list. And then the cool thing is when you have that subscriber list, you can ask questions. Hey, what do you think my next workshop should be? Should it be this, or this, right? And then they're starting to hear that you're going to do a workshop, right? So then you can tell those people about your workshop. You can tell people on Facebook about your workshop. And that's it. Like, that's what I would do right now. I wouldn't worry about anything else, right? Now, the only thing I would suggest is I would always have a home base. And even if it's the most stripped down basic, I would at least have a home base that showed, your business. It showed your About Us page, and it had some content. And that content could be, if you're doing Facebook Lives or you're doing a video once a week or something like that, you can just post it on there and then just have some content written around it. Like, that's it, guys. Like, simple. Like, we don't have to overcomplicate this. So, Kate, was that helpful? You might need to listen to that one back. I'll be working at the time of the workshop. Kyle, that's fine. because we're having recordings available. So if you did want access to that, you could totally still grab it. Okay, Torsten. Yes, it works for from Germany. I want to come to the live calls, but I don't because it's too late. But no problem. Yeah, we're always going to have those recordings. And Torsten, you're in BCA, so you're going to get the workshop and all the recordings too. So let's see here. Okay, that yes was for that. Sounding good. That must have been my audio checks. All right, let's see. Okay, so David says, my wife and I need you, LOL. Okay, well, how can I help? Well, okay, David says we are trying to figure out our niche. Okay, and it's funny because you see how this whole thing is happening now. Now, listen to this for a second, okay? So David just came with me, or to me with this question, okay? I would probably in the future, you guys say if this is a good idea or a bad idea. Okay, say good idea, bad idea. Just let me know, right? What if I did, I don't know, a 90-minute, 2-hour workshop on just picking and validating your niche? Would that be something that either you would be interested in or maybe someone else that you know that's just getting started? Because you know when you were just getting started, trying to figure out your niche was a pain in the butt. Right. And I've got training on that. I've got my playbook, which helps you with that. Right. I've got the validation checklist. I've got that stuff. But a lot of times people, they just want help going through that process to come up with ideas and then how to take those ideas and validate them. And then from there, map out what it would look like. Right. Would that make sense for me to do a fast track workshop on how to pick your niche? Right. Do you see, I'm listening. I'm saying, would that make a good workshop, right? If it does, then maybe I do it. And then I might say, hey guys, I'm thinking about doing 2 different workshops. One is how to pick your niche in the next 24 hours. That would be like the title, right? And then the other one would be like how to create content that drives consistent traffic to your website 24/7. There's 2 workshops. Which one do you think I should do? A or B, right? I'm not asking you that right now, but that's how I would do it. You see, same thing goes. I'm thinking about creating this thing on wood, wood burning, or I'm doing this one over here on crocheting. Like, I don't know, pick which one do you think I should do first, right? And that audience is going to say, oh, wood burning. That's the one I think. Okay, cool. That's the one we'll do first. See, that's how you do it. Tamara, do the BCA members have to register for the October 6th to be able to go live? Yes. Here's what's going to happen, Tamara. Today, actually, on my to-do list, we are going to be sending out the registration link for that. Now, this is a registration like after you've already purchased your ticket, in a sense, your registration. We're going to send you the actual registration to the room. So all you got to do is put your name, email, and then from there, you will then get all of the details. We're going to be doing it through Zoom, but it's basically Zoom webinars, which is basically a way for us to be able to control more things and also be able to have live chat and all of that stuff. So that will be going out in BCA. It'll also be sent out to all of the people that have already registered for the workshop. That will be happening today. So stay tuned on that. But yes, Tamara. And what that's going to do is it's going to allow you to join us live. Okay. Torsten, I love you, man. Check that out. He says, coffee sip time, man. It was a good idea. All right. Okay. How would I pronounce this? Ozama? Did I pronounce that right? Man, I hope I did. I'm joining from Nigeria. Cool, man. That's awesome. Glad to have you. Does the PayPal link that I drop in comments have an explanation of class, or is it simply just payment? No, you can title it. So it'll say like email list building fast track workshop. Right? That's it. That's what it will be. You're not going to build a page. The thing is if you're doing that, there's not a lot of explaining that you have to do because you're not sending cold traffic there, right? So let me back up a little bit. I'm doing this fast track workshop. I'm basically doing it to my warm audience, right? I'm doing it to people that already kind of know me or really know me, right? So I don't have to really sell it, right? I'm just like, I'm doing this thing. You've either listened to the podcast, you've either been to these coffee talks, you've consumed something of mine, and you're like, you know what, Scott, for $27, man, that's a steal. And by the way, it is a steal. It really is. So that, so there's not a lot of selling there. So I could have just sent a direct link, which I basically did. I mean, we didn't even have a full sales page. It's just a checkout page, right? Which gave a couple bullet points and then was like, here, put your email here to register. And then here, put your credit card. Like that was it. But what's going to happen after we get done here, because we are going to run this workshop to cold traffic, right? We're going to build a sales page, but that comes after. I'm not doing the sales page right now. Don't need it. I'm not going to cold traffic, right? So when you're doing this, that's why I think it's important, instead of you just jumping on your Facebook profile or your page and going like, hey guys, I'm going to do this thing. If you haven't been posting there, you should start posting there on a regular basis, right? Just to start to warm it up a little bit. Okay. So that's what I would say to do right now, is just start whatever you're going to be, like, you guys know, right? If you go back and look at the list of topics that I've been talking about lately, email, right? Why? Because we're bringing attention to email list building, right? And when I was doing the Pinterest workshop, guess what the topics were? Pinterest, right? We're bringing up Pinterest, right? So whatever you're going to be leading people to, you're going to want to start bringing that topic up. And then you can also get a feel for, like, do people even care about this? I don't know, right? So I would suggest doing that before you even announce that you're going to do a workshop. Kate says, great advice, Scott. Thanks. I'm going to listen to recording. Cool. Kay, can we collect payment from our list before we start our product development or manufacturing to make sure it's the right product to launch? You mentioned before to give them behind the scenes of development. You could do that. It's kind of like a Kickstarter is really what that would be. So you would have to do a Kickstarter probably. I mean, you could collect the money and hold it. I don't know legally how that works. I'd be careful with that. But I think if you just did a short run, right? Like if you develop something and did a short run on something and you let people know, if you want to help support the manufacturing of this, the creation of this, and you want to get one of these when it's available, we're going to do the first, 200 of these, as our first run. If you'd like to be part of that, you can get in, at the kind of like early adopters or whatever you want to call it, right? You could do that, or you can just, you're going to launch the product anyway. Then you can just start bringing attention to it. So when you launch it, boom, it takes off. All right. Well, I hope that you enjoyed that Friday jam session. And like I said in the beginning, if you want to attend one of our live Friday jam sessions, all you need to do is head on over to takeactioncrew.com. That is where we show up every Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern time. And you can join us. You can ask a question, and then I can answer it. And we can go ahead and also publish it here on the podcast. So once again, I just want to say thank you so much for listening. This is always one of the highlights of my week. And until next time, remember, I'm here for you. I believe in you, and I am rooting for you. But you have to, come on, say it with me. Say it loud. Say it proud. Take action. Have an awesome, amazing day, and I'll see you right back here on the next episode. Now go rock your brand.